Hi guys, it's track by track reaction, Eclipse and Megalomanium. Just a quick recap, this is the 9th studio album from Eclipse. It's coming out on September the 1st on Frontiers. Today it's Sunday the, hold on one second, 20th. So listening to this a little bit early, thanks to the guys for sending me this early so I could do my track by track. It's been an amazing ride so far. Absolutely amazing. It's really hard to say if it's my favourite Eclipse album because it's so early with one listen. But literally every song I've been blown away by it. One thing I can say, I think this may have the most variety because this is Sunday this morning. It's my first reaction of the day. Yesterday I did half the album. I'm up to track 8 actually. I'm over halfway, but as I was thinking about it, I think it's the one with the most variety. So I think at the end of the day, it could easily turn into my favourite Eclipse album because of that variety. But always being within that, you know, that realm of Eclipse sound. That sound that we love, us Eclipse fans love. It's amazing how they do it. They inject different things, but stay within the Eclipse sound. It's pretty amazing really what they've given us over the years. So we're on to the next track. This is track 8. It's called So Long, Farewell, Goodbye. An interesting title. I don't know what it is about titles. Sometimes I look at them and I think, what is that going to be like? Now looking at the songs so far, there's been no ballad so far. Eclipse are brilliant at ballads. They're amazing. So I'm thinking, is this, the sound of it sounds ballady? Maybe, I don't know. But that's the lovely thing about doing reactions. It's an unknown. That's what reactions are all about. Don't know what we're going to get. All I know is I'm excited to hear it because it's Eclipse. Simple as that. So long, farewell, goodbye. Here we go. I spoke, I think, a little bit yesterday on the other reactions about the riffs that this band keep coming up with. I love that riff at the beginning. It's very, very cool. Almost, you know, they are slightly inspired by the 80s, this band, I would say. I mean, I don't think they're fully 80s. I think I spoke about that yesterday as well. But you know, some of those riffs sound a little bit 80s inspired, almost Dokken-esque. I know they're not exactly the same, but I think Dokken maybe have a slight influence on Eclipse, just because Dokken wrote some of the best riffs during that 80s period, without a doubt. I've just actually listened to someone do a Dokken reaction, and it made me think of that, the busyness of that riff that Eric Martinson or Magnus Henriksson, of course, has written. I love that, first of all. This really song showcases some great bass work, I think, from Victor Krusner. Although it's not difficult, the mix really makes that bass pop out, and I love that along the first part of the verses. And the Eclipse are great at building songs up as well. So they introduce instruments, and that's exactly what they're doing here. You can hear Victor Krusner just rumbling along with that bass, and then Magnus Henriksson coming in with some great guitar work. And man, it's just that they know how to build energy up during a song. They know it exploded into it with that great riff, and then died down into that really melodic verse, and then all of a sudden, bang, that guitar's coming in, and it sounds amazing. And another thing as well with Eclipse, backing vocals. Backing vocals are such an important part of this band, because they understand that you know, that makes also a chorus pop and stuff like that. It makes it pop out of the speakers. They've got some super smooth backing vocals going along in the background on that chorus. Absolutely amazing stuff. And remember, like in melodic rock, hard rock, it's an important part. You know, if a band comes along, I remember like listening to an album a couple of years ago, which I really liked. It was the Dirty Honey, completely sort of different sort of band, but they had no backing vocals whatsoever in every chorus. It was just the singer singing. No backing, but not backed up. Not even himself doing any backing vocals. And it missed that. It sort of needed it. You sometimes need a chorus to pop, and you know what you need for that is backing vocals, and it makes it stand out. And this band are just, they're mental at doing backing vocals, and they need to be in melodic rock, hard rock. That's so important, backing vocals, and that's what's really making this chorus pop out as well. It's a very cool song. I did expect a ballad. I don't know why, but we haven't got one yet. We've got High Road next though, because that could be a ballad. Who cares? It's amazing still. An excellent track. This is Total Eclipse. Oh God, that's an Iron Maiden song. I didn't even mean to say that. This is the Eclipse we love. This is the Eclipse that, again, that I think they've turned into. This hasn't got any of those other elements that they've introduced in some of the songs on this album. This sums up Eclipse and why I love them. And this is the band they've become. This is the sound. This is the sound that we love as fans of Eclipse. And I think it showcases it again, as it has in a couple of the songs that I've already reacted to on this album. You know, what they've really honed their sound for me. I think this, you know, they're unmistakable. I'll be playing this album, for instance, I could play it in the car today when I'm going out with my wife, and she'll know it's Eclipse. And, you know, probably more from the unmistakable Eric Martinson voice as well. But they have got this sound of their own that no other band has got. And that's something special. That's what all bands really should aim for. You know, you shouldn't be listening to a band and they sound like 10 other bands and you can't tell the difference. I think Eclipse, especially in the plethora of bands out of Sweden, you know, and there's fucking like thousands of them every week, every day. They stand out as a band that has their own sound. But there's other bands that have tried to, I think, emulate them or sound a bit like them, but have never, you know, they can't get that, because you get that in the songwriting as well. You can sound like a band, get a vocalist that might sound similar, or, you know, something like that, or the style, but you still got to write the songs, and the Eclipse come up with them songs every time. So it's not easy to emulate Eclipse, that's without a doubt. Let's listen to the rest of this, guys. Here we go.
Farewell, goodbye. If these are the choices you're making, then this is the way we both go down.
Love that riff in the solo. And also that minor key riff coming out of the chorus. It's just brilliant, man. Just that, some amazing shredding there by Magnus Henriksen. Like I said, it's not just melody with him. He can shred with the best of them. So quick, man, on the guitar, just amazing. Just fucking amazing. The scream from, I remember Eric Martinson, this band, right, are touring constantly. You've got to remember that as well. They seem to always be on tour. They're so busy, apart from obviously the COVID part of it that fucked everything up. But they've been on tour since COVID has lifted. They seem to be on tour constantly. And his vocals, man, after touring all them years, and you know what I mean? I said earlier on in my reactions, I always think of Eclipse of a new band, but they're not. They've been going a lot of years now. So touring, you know, recording, all that, and his vocals, man. I mean, the scream there at the end, and he will do that live night after night. It's amazing stuff. It really is. Mentioned a couple of times I saw him back in London a few years ago. And his vocals were absolutely superb. It just might as well, just like it was on the record. It's just amazing. Like, they are one amazing band. If you ever want to check out their live situation, like proper, there's a Blu-ray out as well, or DVD out as well of one of their concerts. So check that out. That followed the Paradigm album. So check that out. And you hear how amazing Eric Martinson is live as well. So another great track. That was track 8. That was So Long, Farewell, Goodbye. It's turning into one amazing album this is. Next is High Road, perhaps the ballad of the album. Would it matter if we didn't get a ballad? I sort of want one because I love Eclipse ballads so much. I'm a ballad fan. So we've got One Step Closer to You and Forgiven as well. So either of them, I suppose, looking at the actual titles of the song, could be a ballad. I'm not sure. Does it matter? Sort of, Eric. I want to hear you sing a ballad, but guys, what do you think of that? That was So Long, Farewell, Goodbye from Eclipse, from the Megalomanium album. Amazing stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll see you soon.